Welcome back to the Quickshow tutorial, Chapter 6 on the Quick Trace tool. The Quick Trace tool is located down here in the area that we call the Quick Tools. Just click on this tab and the Quick Trace function will open. What Quick Trace allows you to do is very quickly trace bitmap images. As it says here in the little information area, Quick Trace works best on business graphics. That means it's the kind of graphics that you would find on a business card or company logos and stuff like that. Things that have strong contrast. Quickshow can work on continuous tone photographs within some degree of reason. But without much further ado, what we'll do is go ahead and demonstrate the Quick Trace function. So Quick Trace works just like the other quick tools in that there's a kind of a step 1, step 2, step 3 scenario to it. Step 1 is to open and adjust the image. So we click on this open image. Quick Trace automatically opens up some bitmaps that we have loaded in here and that we include with the program. So for example, I'm just going to click on this one. Click OK. In this area we can review what Quick Trace has done, and it instantly turns it into laser graphics. Just like the other quick tools, we can either show it now, or we can drag and drop this to a queue for use later on. I'll show you what we can do with this once Quick Trace has traced it out, but in the meantime, let's take a look at the Quick Trace in a little bit more detail. So one of the things that we have within Quick Trace is the ability to open an image, but also these tools, these other tools like color separation, noise reduction, number of colors, and so forth. What these allow you to do is try to get to the, you'll notice that Quickshow automatically picks up the color from the image. Well, the number of colors that Quick Trace will look for is controlled by this number of colors control here. If we reduce that, you'll notice that Quickshow has picked up on fewer colors here. As we increase it to 4, you'll notice it's picked up this dark blue down here. So Quick Trace uses this number of colors to try to separate the colors out from the image, and that's what it means by this color separation mode. There are a couple of other modes here that we'll get into here in a second. But let's take a look at a couple other images as well. For example, this Rolling Stones logo, once again, instantly turns it into laser graphics. We'll go ahead and show that on the laser. This Doors logo, just like that. And when dealing with other types of images, such as this continuous tone photograph that we have here, you'll notice that the color separation mode, it can be used. We're picking something up here in the laser, but it's not really the best type of tool for this type of job. A better tool for continuous tone photograph is another mode here that we call highlight separation. In this mode, you don't use this number of colors slider here anymore. Instead, you control what we call the separation level. As you move this back and forth, it will pick up on different areas of the image, and you can see slight red image here that is the traced image of where it's picking up in the separation, how it's separating those colors out. So for continuous tone photograph, it's best to use this highlight separation mode, and you can just try to adjust the separation level for best results. This noise reduction system is in there. If you have a very noisy image or something that has a lot of grain to it, or JPEG compression artifacts, you might try just checking this box. But Quick Trace is really pretty easy to use in so much that you open the image, kind of play around with the controls a little bit to try to get the best image that you can, and show it now or drag and drop it to a queue. So once you have the image actually traced, we'll do that one more time with the Rolling Stones logo as well. So I'll click on the Rolling Stones logo. In this case, we'll go ahead and go back to color separation mode and increase the number of colors. And that looks pretty good. So we'll just drag and drop that to a queue. Well, if that's your main goal, is to just trace a bitmap graphic, pretty much that's as easy as it is. Kind of step 1, step 2, step 3. But with Quick Trace, we could actually do a little bit more than that. Because once this thing is actually in a graphic like that and dragged and dropped to a queue, we can edit this. So for example, what I can do is I can click the right mouse button on this and say Edit Frame or Animation, because it turns it into a real laser frame, which we can then edit using the tools that we have here. For example, I can use this tool here, which allows us to adjust the size, and this tool also allows us to adjust the position. So for example, I can just put that there, and I can add some text to it. For example, go ahead and notate that as C World. Let's say we're going to put that text down at the bottom and make it a little bit smaller, like that. Okay. So, that's one thing that we could do, is simply add some text to it. Of course, we can do a bit more. For example, we can use this area here, which will allow us to select an area like that, and we can just go back there and resize that, or even use this warping tool to warp that around, kind of give it a 3D look. And for this text, we can go down here and select this text, move it up here, and perhaps what we'll do is paint roll that blue just like that. Of course, what we could do is use this in a little bit of a different way. We can select the paint roll tool or paint roller tool and select a new color, just drag over like that. We show it now on the laser, or click OK. And so we can take a logo, add some text to it, warp it around, and so forth very easily. For this continuous tone photograph that we made, what we could do is, let's say we're going to right click on this, say Edit Frame or Animation, and although the highlight separation mode was effective in picking up the essence of the image, there are some little spots around here that we'd probably rather not have. And so we can use the editor here and say Select Object, and what you do is just draw a little circle around that area. We can press the Delete key and get rid of it just like that. Let's say, come up here, oops, not quite that. And maybe this part in here. The little glints on the lips, maybe we like that. So what we can do now is we can come in here, use the paint roller to kind of update that and so forth. So it just gives you an example of how you can quickly trace an image, turn it into a queue, and then use the editor to update that further. So for the Rolling Stones, I'll do something similar. Click on this, right click, Edit Frame or Animation. What we'll do is we'll come over here, resize this, maybe center it a bit, click on the text, add some text to it. Make it a little bit smaller. Okay, and maybe I'll change that to blue. I'm not sure what their favorite color is, but for this demonstration I'll make that blue. And so, of course, this drawing program not only allows you to draw in it and edit the thing as well, but there's some built-in effects to it. Like, for example, if I click on this effect tool, what I can do is I can do different effects, and they will be applied in the form of an animation. So for example, if I say write in, what this will do is it creates all of the in-between frames to make this image right in, like that. So just click OK. And what you can see is that we took a Rolling Stones logo, traced it automatically, edited it, we added some color, some text to it, and added a tracing effect just with a few mouse clicks. So the Quick Trace tool is really pretty handy, very easy to use, and there's a lot of things that you could do with it.